The News Day continues here on One News Now. I'm Charles Lejano. The World Health Organization said the government's vaccination of our elderly population remains unsatisfactory, while private hospitals also raised concerns about the basis of implementation of the alert level system in Metro Manila. To discuss these issues, we now have Greg Gregorio joining us live from Antipolo. Good afternoon again, Greg. Let's start with why the WHO thinks that the administration's vaccine for seniors so far is unsatisfactory.
Yes, Ross, good afternoon. According to Dr. Rabindra Singha, country representative of the WHO here in the Philippines, despite the fact that the government has already or has been rolling out COVID-19 vaccines for about 6 months now, and despite our progress, the rollout is still painfully slow. That is the words according to Dr. Singha, and according to him, about 3.6 million out of about 8 million target elderly population here in the Philippines have yet to receive at least single dose of their COVID-19 vaccine. Charles?
Greg, what warning did the World Health Organization give regarding the ramifications of this slow vaccination for our vulnerable sector?
Just according to Dr. Rabi, failure to vaccinate more of the vulnerable sector, including the elderlies, might open more possibilities for another surge of COVID-19 cases, as well as mutations of more SARS-CoV-2 variants, which could also be highly transmissible, or might also have an immune escape like what we are experiencing right now. Charles?
Right. A lot of vaccines have already arrived, Greg, and still we are at this point where we can't really catch up to the actual need here in the Philippines. So how many vaccine doses exactly has the country received from the COVAX facility?
Charles, according to Dr. Rabi, about 13 million doses of COVID-19 vaccines have been delivered to the Philippines so far, or have been donated so far to the Philippines from the COVAX facility of the WHO. About 3 million of these are single-dose Janssen COVID-19 vaccines, and the rest are multi-dose or two doses COVID-19 vaccines of Pfizer, Moderna, and AstraZeneca. And according to Dr. Rabi, the World Health Organization has already is targeting to deliver 10 million doses of vaccines to the Philippines in the coming weeks. Charles?
All right, Greg, let's move on to the implementation of this not new alert level system in NCR. What were some of the main issues raised by PHAPI regarding this?
Charles, according to Dr. Jose de Grano, president of the Private Hospitals Associations of the Philippines Incorporated, their concerns are the basis for the identification of which alert level will a certain area be placed under. Because according to Dr. De Grano, under the implementation of the new mechanism or the alert level systems, what will the DOH will be considering would be the case transmission data, as well as the hospital utilization and the IC utilization. But according to Dr. De Grano, we might not be having a reliable case data. For example, our contact tracing is not as reliable as it is, because from the target of 20 individuals or close contacts from a certain positive case, we are only contact tracing about 6 or so on the average. Thus, there might be undetected cases roaming around the community. Apart from that, on the healthcare utilization and the IC utilization, De Grano says the data that is being shown in the COVID-19 tracker might not also be reliable, because the patients waiting in line in the emergency rooms of the hospitals are not part of what is reported to the Department of Health. Thus, there might be vacancies reported, but what is happening on the ground is the hospitals or the hospitals can no longer accept more patients, as they don't also have more healthcare workers to cater for these patients. Charles?
Right, as we enter this uncharted territory in the next few days, Greg, the question is, do they really think that this new system will help slow down the transmission of COVID-19 in the region?
Charles, in a way, according to Dr. Degrano, this could be helpful in slowing down transmission if the mobility under the alert level 5 is followed. But if we are going to check the allowed mobility under alert level 4 down to alert level 1, more mobility is allowed. Thus, this will be a concern for the transmission, as mobility is a factor of the transmission of COVID-19. Charles?
Thank you for that, Greg. That was Greg Gregorio reporting live from Antipolo. The Interior Department reminds business establishments like restaurants that they can only operate under alert level 4 if all of their employees are vaccinated. On One News's agenda, the DILG spokesperson Jonathan Malaya said, getting vaccinated should be considered a civic duty of every individual. He also reminded the public that vaccination cards will be required for indoor dining and other indoor business establishments. Malaya said employers of these establishments must also help their workers get vaccinated if they want to continue their operations. The official also noted that there's currently a steady supply of vaccines in Metro Manila, so residents have no excuse to remain unvaccinated.
Well, ako personally, no, sa panahon ngayon, hindi ka pa nagpapabakuna, nagpabaya ka na. Because vaccination is something that LGUs do every day. So yung mga taga Metro Manila po na gustong magpabakuna, you can be vaccinated if you want to. So let's consider vaccination as a civic duty. Magpabakuna po tayo para matigilan natin yung transmission and so that businesses can go back to normal.
Presidential spokesperson Harry Roque slams the UPD Executive Committee for its decision to oppose his nomination to the International Law Commission. In a statement, Roque described the committee's justification to object to his nomination to the ILC as flimsy. The palace spokesperson said it shows how some sectors will, quote, do everything to besmirch his name and integrity because their political beliefs do not align with his. Recall that the UP Diliman Executive Committee opposed Roque's nomination, citing his supposedly poor track record of promoting, defending, and fulfilling human rights and the rule of law. Roque defended his track record, saying that he has been an advocate of human rights for over 30 years. And he added that it is disheartening to have his nomination to the ILC politicized, noting that the ILC itself is not even a political body. Roque also explained that the commission is merely a group of people who have necessary credentials in public international law, something he claims to be an expert in. Apple has unveiled the iPhone 13. Just how amazing is this new iPhone iteration to get a starting price of almost $800? Let's find out.
This is iPhone 13. To tell you more, here's Cayenne.
Let's take a closer look at iPhone 13, starting with design. It has the sleek, flat-edge design that people love. It's also incredibly durable with our exclusive ceramic shield front, tougher than any smartphone glass, and has industry-leading IP68 water resistance. iPhone 13 has a new look for the advanced dual camera system with the lenses arranged diagonally. The aerospace-grade aluminum frame is beautifully formed and really shows off 5 new colors: an all-new pink, blue, midnight, starlight, and product red. On the front, the TrueDepth camera system has been re-engineered to provide more display area. Everything inside, including Face ID, the most secure facial authentication in a smartphone, fits into a space that's 20% smaller. iPhone 13 is designed with the environment in mind, using many recycled materials. For example, these antenna lines use upcycled plastic water bottles, an industry first. Under the hood, iPhone 13 has been completely re-architected to make room for new technologies and a bigger battery. This beautiful design is the same across two sizes, iPhone 13 and iPhone 13 mini. Both feature a more advanced Super Retina XDR display. It's 28% brighter, up to 800 nits, brilliant for viewing even when you're outside.
Here's a quick look at some of today's headlines. The World Health Organization warns the planned shift to alert level system to balance health and economy might be a little too premature. Japan warns against a possible terror attack in the Philippines, as well as 5 other ASEAN countries. And A-list celebrities graced this year's Met Gala. And those are the top stories at this hour. Join us again later at 1 p.m. as we continue to monitor the day's biggest stories. You can also catch One News on Signal Play. Register for a free account at www.signalplay.com so you can stream One News live anytime and anywhere. I'm Charles Lejano. Mask on, wash hands, and stay safe, Philippines. We are One News.